Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sunny and today I would like to bring you another long video of the process of me drawing some ideas that I have on Procreate. So today's ideas are about a universe that I actually created in my head that I really loved. That is the world of the Grey City. For now I want to keep the story of the Grey City something to be secret, and I will reveal it over time bit by bit. As you might have seen a trailer of the book that I've written on my channel as well, named Cabinet of Madness. So it's actually related to this universe, but it's not exactly the only story that I have planned in my mind for the near future. Including in this project, there is also another game as well about a family that living in the Grey City. The city is inspired heavily by H.P. Lovecraftian kind of stories and also Victorian era. So the first painting is actually a character, a very important character from my story. For now I will just call her the thief. But what does she steal? Who is she? What is her agenda? I cannot tell you right now. But yeah, let's just say that she doesn't steal normal things. And also she's also not a normal person. Sadly, unfortunately, I couldn't record the whole process of me creating this piece that I really love of the thief. Instead, I can only export the time lapse for this video, so please bear with me. I think I have redrawn this idea for many times. This might be the fourth time already, because one thing about progression is that you need to revisit the ideas again and again over time. So yeah, I would like to talk a bit about it at the beginning of this video. The next idea though is another one about the Grey City as well, but a very different one. So it's also about the seasons of the Grey City, and I plan to make a whole series for like this character from the Grey City, and they are going to be on this poster like design that I'm going to I'm thinking about selling them as prints on Etsy. And what do you think about that? I'm not really sure yet, but let's see how it's gonna be, because I think they are really interesting, and why not give it a chance? So my second idea is actually redrawn for the third time as well, and this one I want to the one that you are seeing on the final layer that I use as like the theme, or how to say, like the reference for this one, is actually drawn by marker and ink. But what I plan is to make it into a poster, so I have to redesign it and redraw it on Procreate to digitalize it technically. So they are actually, this image that I drew actually was based on a photograph from 19th century England of a couple. I want them to look loving, like loving couple together, but also has certain kind of like solemn vibe from back then. And yet they are creature beings from outer space. So how have things been for you guys? It's been pretty sunny in my place, and the weather is pretty nice, except for the fact that it's sometimes a bit too dry, and it could be annoying at time. But other than that, it's been really pretty nice, and I had more sleep after I finished certain deadline for certain projects that I have been given the permission to share with you in the near future. Please stay tuned. There are a lot more to share on my channel about projects. I think I have heard some artists kind of say this, and he's another YouTuber as well. He did comment that, artists tend to have this kind of voiceover process of them drawing, like what I'm doing right now, video, and it's not exactly the thing to enjoy or something like that. And it's more like for artists enjoy who enjoy watching other artists draw as well. And it's me too, not YouTube. It's not to satisfy other people, but mainly to satisfy the artist. And to that, I think that it's not really so, at least for people that I really know, and for myself as well. Before being an artist, I am an art consumer. I consume art every day, and to be honest with you, sometimes I open this thing just like ASMR kind of video because I just enjoy them. While I work, while I do laundry, while I do chores, and I just listen to people talking about their daily life, their progressions, their work. Doesn't have to be anything big, doesn't have to be something super entertaining, like thrilling, and things like giving you certain kind of very strong emotional reaction. I don't think that is entertainment alone. Sometimes people need something that is more chilling, sometimes people need something that's more relaxing, and that is also a sort of entertainment. And it's not about to satisfy your own ego as an artist to share this kind of thing. I know this because I myself never really think high about my work. I think that my skills level is very low compared to many artists out there, especially on YouTube channel as well. And I don't mind sharing my workflow. I don't mind sharing my art because this joy of sharing your creative design, creative thought is enjoyable itself. And I don't think that is a selfish thing to do. It is for yourself, but it's not a selfish thing. Instead, it's actually like actively trying to support into a community that you support each other. People who consume art just as much as people who love to create art as well. And I think just like another friend of mine used to ask me, like, why do you still draw? There are better camera who can capture people way better. It's not about the fact that there are other tools and things that can give you a quicker result. It's never been about the speed. In here, it's more about the process of things, how it's going on, and that is more important to many people I know, especially people from 20 years older. And the older that they got, the less about the speed. It's more about progression and the time and effort you truly spend on it. So yeah, it's enjoyment in creating, in sharing your creative idea. That is the thing that matter. And I think that takes time for you to realize, and it takes time for each different people will have different pacing in realizing it and understanding about how important it is to them, that this thing kind of bring joy to them. And always remember that there's not just fine art that is a creative career. There are many people who design things, designers, illustrators. There are people who doesn't purely create art, but instead they does thing more belongs to the other industry, but they still do creative stuff and they do enjoy watching other creative people working on things. So the flow of thought just like really escaped my brain. I kind of forget what brought me to this topic and why am I doing this again. I think that is one of the nice thing about doing YouTube is it brings you to think more about many matters as you talk to yourself mainly, but also you trying to express yourself to a bigger crowd, people who you never actually talk to or even know. But there is something nice about it. Actually, you know what? I always prefer talking directly to people because then I can look into their eyes, I can read their emotions, I can really exchange with them how I feel about things, not just how I view things, how I think things. I think like that is a very human thing as well that is lacking when you do things online like this, like I do, because then you cannot really interact with people directly and you can't really see them. Like sometimes I see people say that it's kind of nice, you don't have to look at people in the face and you just exchange ideas. But believe me, it's not that nice. You can't really deal with people face to face. Sometimes it's really annoying, especially sometimes when people can say really mean things. But I believe that many people who say mean things never dare to say it in front of your face, and that's one of the things. Sometimes people don't really mean what they say, and sometimes people don't even know the effect of what they say until they look into the other person's eyes, And when you meet people directly, they are responsible for what they say directly, and that's changing the whole thing. Well, so you realize that I pause a lot when I work. That's because I really like in real time I think about the next thing to do, the process of things. Or sometimes I just stop to drink water or things like that. So yeah, it's about this idea. I want this to be a wanted poster. There will be another poster that is opposite to this. That is the poster about the good citizens of Great City that you might have seen in the sketch briefly from the time lapse of the other idea. They're going to be opposite. One couple is wanted and the other is considered good, so that you know the agenda and the politics of this city. In this city, though, there is certain separation between the good, the bad, the ugly, that kind of thing, and you will see that there will be a group of people that consider in the high stand of the society, and they are marble like. they look like marble. They look like statues. And the rest look like, colorful creature from another world. I cannot really explain too much, but yeah, you will see over time as I have the process of making the game and the book up here. I really want to show you a lot of things, but for now, I want it to remain a secret. Also, because the matter of copyright is still, I'm still working on it, and it's still very difficult for me. Talking about the process of the video, it's been such a new thing to me, to constantly edit video after video. Of course, the way that I edit them is actually very simple. Also, because I don't have the time to invest too much into them, I have like many ideas to work on at the same time, and it's been a very difficult thing to edit them to the way that I really want and to make them as entertaining as possible for you. But definitely, there's something that I will note down and try my best to study in the near future, because I also want to try something new as well. Even though the way that I plan for my channel is a place to share with others about how I see things, how I view things as an artist, how I feel about certain things. And I like to share with you about the process of me making things just as much as my works and things like that. So I don't plan to make it too complicated about editing to because I don't think I am a pure entertainer in that way. I'm still, in the end of the day, the main thing is I'm still an artist, and that is my main goal, is to express myself as an artist and spread the word about my art. Also, I think that the media that I really love, like games and books and comics, things like that, it's just easily spread around, and it's really great to share with you guys things that I really love as well, because those media was really crazily good. I think in the near future I'm going to have many streams about games. For example, tonight I'm going to have a stream for Lethal Company. That is one of my favorite games. I hope I can bring to you something more entertaining than just drawing like this, because I also want to share and express another side of me. It's just to having fun, and for us to feel closer, as more in a sense that more relevant to one another, because I believe that there are many of you also who enjoy the same kind of thing like I do. We may see different kind of media, but in the end of the day we are pretty much similar in the way that we are. Also, Lethal Company is a very fun game. It can be scary at times, but I believe it's more fun than scary, and yeah, it's actually funny too to watch people scream on top of their lungs. Like, I think it's scarier to hear my friends screams than actually looking at the monster or the ghost in the game. Let's see how it's gonna go. Also, I want to stream a few games that I really love, like Dishonored, Bioshock Infinite, like revisit them, or Bioshock series, because they just really great. Also, one of the things now that I'm looking at this old stream is that, because I forgot to tell you, this video is totally recorded on Twitch and is actually one of my stream a few days ago. So when I look back at the stream now, I do see that I had problem with creating text. I'm really bad with calligraphy, very bad at it. My handwriting is definitely not good at all. It's just readable, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I collect a bunch of typefaces that I really like, just to use, of course, because they are expensive. So most of the time I try to find the free one to use, because their license and everything is very complicated. It's just not okay for me to buy many of them, and I admit that many of them are actually very pretty, but yeah, their license are really expensive and I cannot afford them. So yeah, instead I use what I can have, like some free typeface and things that are already on Procreate, for example, or things that are already on Photoshop or in Adobe. They're pretty much enough, actually. Well, not all the time, but yeah. For this idea especially, I don't like the 3D font effect, so instead I line up the, I reline the original typeface into something more flat, and then adding a bit of texture. I think that is more suitable with this idea. And I wanted to have this kind of 19th century poster vibe. Well, in the end, I still couldn't manage to bring it out that clear, but I think it looks interesting. So one of the things that I really wonder whether you enjoy this kind of commentary, why I work on an art piece, or do you enjoy just, like from like my older videos where I just, talk at the beginning of the video and talk at the end of the video and let you listen to the music while watching more, or do you like me to talk during, the whole video more? Please let me know, because I think like it's kind of awkward as well to just, and it's a bit lazy too, to just leave the whole video like running with the music, which is definitely more easy and simple for me because I just need to add in the music. But I want to, like in the end of the day, it's still my job to, entertain you and bring to you information just as much as what my opinion is on certain things. Mainly still in the end is to entertain you. So let me know if you enjoy which more, okay? Definitely one of the things that is a bit overrated is the tentacles in H.P. Lovecraftian kind of works. And I'm afraid that I'm gonna repeat it here, but I really like drawing the tentacle. Sorry. Like it's just so, like the image of it is the feeling, the flow. They look soft and they can change into certain kind of shapes and stuff like that. It's kind of nice to draw them. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like you can bend them the way that you want, and it can fit into many different scenarios, and it looks spooky. But well, not so spooky anymore since many people use it in their works, their artworks and stuff. I think I need to be more creative in designing these creatures and beings from other world if I want to bring out my story in the best way possible. Because I really want to attract people with my works, But of course, to be authentic, I don't think I'm going to try to the point that I no longer figure out, like, I no longer realize my own work, because that's not the point. Also, my work is heavily inspired by many things that I have read and many things that I have, like, consumed as a consumer for this media. So I don't plan to be original, like completely original. I don't think that's possible. No matter what, I'm going to be very inspired by many things that I have read, I have watched, or I have listened to. So yeah, I want to also highly recommend this media to you through my work as well, like, where I got the inspiration from, what is the idea behind all the things that I create. That's also important to me. I think with this world that I want to create, one of the things that I want to point out the most is the fact that you be treated different by the way that you look. You going to be treated differently, and you're going to deal with the world in different ways because of your background. And it's going to be a fun, wild ride, because it's going to have many crazy things that I really like in it. But at the same time, I think it's going to be a very wholesome and chill kind of story. Let's see how you're gonna think about it when you actually get to read and enjoy the games that me and my friend created. Also, do you like lo-fi chill music like modern one, or do you like classical music more? I think I always try my best to choose the theme music that goes along with the subject of my drawings. So with this one, it would be classical music, but with others, it might be something else. At the same time, I think when I open chill music, it's always very simple, very easy. Like, I don't have to think much about it, because it's technically you can add it into anywhere, especially with time lapse for drawing video, especially. One of the things I definitely love is the brown colored paper. Like it brings so much of kind of old feeling, vintage kind of vibe to any works that you can create. And especially with pieces like this, when you have the texture paper that is suitable, look at the green, like it's so nice on this kind of paper. Doesn't that remind you of, old comics, old spooky comics about creatures from other universes and stuff? Or like old, DC comics kind of days, back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, or even older. So it's just this vibe about, old things that I really love. I guess I'm a very nostalgic kind of person, even though, nostalgia is supposed to work for people who live in certain time. But I think sometimes I got nostalgic even about the things that I'd never actually experienced. Or more like, I'm attracted to old things in the past. And to me, like as someone who born in the modern time, I view those things as another world, another universe that needs to be explored because, they belong to another time, another world almost, where things were different, where people were different. And because of that, I just enjoy watching movie about the old times, and I enjoy, especially I enjoy researching about, for example, fashion of the old time, their lifestyle, the stories, read old books, like, things like Charles Dickens books, very interesting to me. And especially because they talk a lot about people way of living back in the old days, belong to a certain era. Also because, like I cannot just not like horror story like many people. And it happens to be that many spooky things happened back in the day when things are obviously not as, scientifically improved like right now, and many things to people were still unknown, even worse than now, and just many things we don't know how to deal with, and instead we find a different way to explain things and rely on the supernatural to understand more about the world. And because of that, there are many good horror story that was created back then. I myself own a book collection called Irish Ghost Stories, and I love it. I really love it. I just, put it on my bed and just keep it there so I could read it before I sleep every day. Is that good to me? And is that great? Yeah. So you see, yeah, based on the things that I draw, I like things that are weird. I like things that somewhat dark and spooky and kind of like otherworldly. To be honest, I think I'm actually quite a cheerful and kind of bubbly kind of person. Like I talk a lot as well. As you can see, I talk a lot. But at the same time, things I like are usually kind of more moody, more gloomy, and things like that. I guess opposite attracts, huh? I bet so. For some reason, since I study English very seriously, I have used it as fluent as my own language. I'm not saying that I'm really good at it. Like my vocab is really small, and still, but I feel more. The thing is, I feel more comfortable talking in English sometimes. So you will see that on this channel, like 90% of the videos made are actually in English, even though it's not like standard or by any means perfect English or anything like native. Sorry, I don't care if it's native or not. And thing is, I love it. I love using the language itself as a means to express myself, just like art. And I think because of that, my voice and the way I speak, it doesn't have to be a standard thing. It's supposed to be my thing. And because of that, it's one of the things that I always keep to myself, that I don't need to care about whether I speak some words exactly the way a native person say or things like that. The thing is, I like the logic behind the language more so than the way that it's spoken. So yeah, just a side note for it. And I love my language as well. I love Vietnamese. I think it's amazing in its own way. It's very simple, but yet the logic behind it can be very fun to use because of how double or triple meaning things can be. But yeah, I love using Vietnamese, yet I feel sometimes a bit more uncomfortable to use it. I guess mainly because it can make me feel very awkward, and I'm still not so used to express myself by a language that are way closer to me than English. It's because it's attached to my background, how I was born, how I grew up. And when things are more personal, more intimate, it's way harder for you to use as something more casual. Instead, it becomes something very personal, and it's just hard to express. So yeah. But yeah, for my Vietnamese viewers who are, like 50% of the viewers on this channel, I definitely going to have as many Vietnamese video as possible. I plan on it. It's just I need some time to learn how to speak as comfortable, as casually as how I speak English. As you can see, all these videos that are, like voice over a process of working, is actually without script. And so I just talk. I think of anything and I'm going to talk about that. So yeah, there is something about it that very different, and even my voice in English is definitely very different from my voice in Vietnamese. The tone, the softness, the hardness, and I mean the way that it is either soft or hard, and the way that it's actually really spoken sound completely different. So I think that yeah, I need to find a common ground for both language where I feel as myself when I speak. Because as you believe or not, this is myself speaking to you. I have no other kind of like identity. Like I don't think I can fake it well. Instead, I really express what I really think and how I really feel about certain matters that I talk about seriously on this channel. For real, like I express it to you. So yeah. One of the weird things that I think might be, very maybe not good for me, but yeah, I like it, is that this channel is small right now, and I love it as small. I'm not saying that I want it to be small forever because it will go against my works, but I think I love the pace that it grows. Like I actually don't like things to be super fast. Super slow is definitely not good, but super fast is just not great either. Like you can't enjoy what you have if you going too fast, and you feel miserable when you go too slow. So I think the pace that I'm going right now is really good for my channel and my mental health being. Like my mental health is definitely in better shape when I can take things in bit by bit. and expand my horizon bit by bit. And actually, if I can, I'd like to know all my subscribers, all the people who commented such kind word on my channel as well. Because as I said, I like to think of my videos and my channel as a place for people to communicate, to connect, instead of somewhere for me to showcase my work alone and to showcase my ego and whatnot. So yeah, it is something for me that I really like to know everyone and be friends with everyone if possible, but it's not possible. I'll tell you right now, it's impossible to know everyone and to be friends with everyone, even though my channel right now have 57 subscribers. So 57 people, not really a big number, but that is big to me. I don't get like like I don't get to talk to that many people outside in reality and in real life, and I get it, and yet somehow the fact that my channel is now small feels way more comfortable when I think about bigger channel and how they have to deal with trolls, how they have to deal with so many negativity because they have a bigger channel and they have to act like just pass it by and just live with it. I think that is one of the things that everybody on YouTube have to learn, to just live with the flood, as they say it in Vietnamese. So, well, let's see if I can endure it the more that my channel grows. But for now, I feel comfortable with the pace, and possibly that is one of the very weird thing, but I think it makes sense to me as well, because in the end of the day, as I said, I am an artist, so right. So I don't really care about the fact that it's just a number and stuff. I don't really care about the fact that my channel has a big number of subscribers or small number of subscribers. Instead, I care more about how many people really care about my content and my art, how many people really can connect through my channels. Things like that really makes me feel more important than actually having a big number of followers and things like that. Because when the bigger the number is, the more strange and weird it's going to be. Okay, so yeah, what I want to say is that I feel way better knowing what I really have right now, where I am right now, and the fact that the number, it feels very strange when the number is, and you feel detached from the fact that these numbers are actually each behind each number is a person. You feel detached from that and you start to react to it in a completely different way. And to me, a community, when it's big enough, the detachment level of it is just really high. It's impossible to be under the same roof. But yeah, well, that is one thing I need to learn to adapt to at some point, and I need to understand that even if it's kind of strange, even if things can be different, it might seem worse somehow, that doesn't mean that you cannot still bring certain good values to my own channel and to the community on YouTube. Actually, I can still bring those things about if I care enough, if I try enough. It's just I need to learn to keep my boundary and distance as someone who create content on channel on YouTube. I think like most YouTubers that I know start their channel from when they're pretty young, like 17, 18. And because of that, the fact that they actually got really big, and then their audience just really, it's kind of hard to understand and grab hold of, the audience and what they want, what they think about. Everyone has a different taste, everyone has a different need and desire, and everyone wants this or that for their channel. And that become a certain kind of chaotic stage for most YouTubers that I've known, and they talk a lot about that. And I myself want to avoid that. Maybe even if I have to turn off the comment just so I can have some peace, that might happen. Because honestly, I care about my mental health and my well-being more than anything, because without that I cannot work on anything. But let's see, I'll try my best to be as open to you guys as possible, and I want to be able to keep my community, at least to a certain level, connected to one another in a good way. One thing I definitely need to talk about is that I will not endure any comments that talk about politics in any kind of way on my channel. I only care about art, people who will talk about art market and things that relate to the work, behind it on this channel. Anything that relates to politics in any kind of way, I will delete that comment and I will ban that person, because I don't care. I only care about things that truly matter for this channel and my aim for this channel. Okay? So yeah, that's one of the things that I want to remind you guys about my own content as well. At some point, I think I cannot delete everything and I will have to just use the filter for the videos. But at the same time, just chill out, relax for now, because mostly people find this channel and then plan to stay back is because of art. I understand that, and I really respect that, and because of that, for now I feel comfortable enough on this space. I think one of the things that I enjoy the most while working on a piece like this is when I start doing the shading, playing on the shadows and the lighting, and the light, how it works on the surface of each fabric, each kind of texture and materials, things like that. Definitely I have much more to learn, as I practice very little every day, Nowadays, now that I get to open this YouTube channel, I got to practice more than ever and more often than ever. And yet I still have too many ideas that I constantly want to work on them instead of studying. And that is one of the possibly like disadvantage to all of this. But at the same time, it's kind of great actually. I definitely feel like I have progressed much more than before because I draw constantly and constantly work on projects and ideas. And that is one of the things that I really love about doing YouTube and working on YouTube. It does help me grow. It's not just about, showcasing myself and my work as, an artist. Instead, it's also about growing myself as a person and growing my work in art. It's really great. And I know I sound very positive and stuff, but there's one thing that I always keep inside my mind is the world is completely like chaotic. It's both wonderful and terrifying, and there are many, 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 many terrifying things, and they are more impactful than anything that you could ever known and ever felt. I myself search for those things, read about to prepare myself as well about how dark things can be at times. But because of that, one of the things that I really want to spread around more than anything is brightness and happiness and things that are actually bright. I don't want to force my positivity on your face because actually with the fact that I have mental health issue, that means that most of the time, like 60% of the time at least now that I do use med as well, I'm pretty moody and I can be really down at times, thinking very negatively about everything. But when I'm like this, when I focus on work and I find positivity in things, that's the thing that I want to spread around, not the other way around. And I hope you understand that. I don't plan to force my positive thinking into any of you. You don't have to. The world is truly dark and it can truly be terrifying and scary and tiring. It actually does happen, okay? And I understand that too. But that doesn't mean that we have to focus ourselves on those things. Instead, we can focus energy on things that can bring us, a better mood, a better way of feeling, thinking, just as much as better our health and other things in our lives, if possible. It's all about our choices, I believe. Well, not all the time, but for the most part, when you can actually choose, you can choose either between just indulge yourself into what is dark and or indulge yourself in what brings happiness. Even if that happiness doesn't last forever, even if that happiness just for a moment, it can actually brings about the most energy during the days, the weeks, or even months. And that's the thing I always try to remember all the time. Also, since my schedule is more packed and packed now, I'm having to reschedule everything, especially how I going to study new stuff from domestica, from watercolor class and coloring class as well. It's going to be a really difficult kind of schedule, because there are so many conflict, and I need to focus on a few things only, not everything, because right now just I just hold on to so many different ideas at the same time. The good news, I just received some text from Mr. Tian, the teacher who's going to open the class for color theories, and he agreed to, like collab with me on some few videos talking about art, talking about his experience with art and stuff like that. I think I'm going to try my best and bring out best questions and things that can help you guys have a better visions about how the market right now is, like how to deal with it, how to really, study art, or how to, like, what you want to know more about the art market and people who work in such a field. Because I know many people who watch my channel are going to be artists or future artists, people who likes to study about art, who likes art. And either you want to understand more about the art world, or you need to learn about it in order to better see, your path in the future. Either way, I think it's important to talk about these topics, and it would be great to have someone who is professional in the field to talk about this matter. I myself, I'm not sure if I can call myself a professional, because I have jumped from jobs to jobs, and I've never really stayed in a place for real, except for being a freelancer and a designer, that for the most of the time, instead of being an illustrator. So yeah, about this, it's definitely going to be a really good chance for me to learn about the market and everything that you need to be ready, maybe even creating a portfolio as well as an artist. And I'm going to learn a lot from him as well. So I will plan out a whole podcast so we can talk about it and then share with you guys. I think the podcast will definitely be in Vietnamese, and I will translate it into English. So if you guys are from an English country, or like English speaking country, or somewhere that also use English, then you can actually understand what we're talking about. And yeah, that's my plan for the most part. I think I'm going to have this interview like right at the beginning of the course, when it happened, when I get to talk to him, so we start to know each other more, and so we can have an idea about the other person first. I think I somewhat have a brief understanding about Mr. Thiện, but Mr. Thiện hasn't talked much to me in person, so yeah, we need some time to really get to know each other as student and teacher as well. And I look forward to it, because I believe, based on what he works on, his ethics and everything, he seems to be a really dedicated teacher and someone who really loves his jobs, even though it's a very difficult kind of time for his job as well. So yeah, that's pretty much my plan for the next month, because I don't think I can plan and handle everything in this month, because it's just very difficult. I have a few projects at hand at the same time, and I need to finish them quickly as well. I cannot just dawdle and just wait for everything to be in place. I need to work for it. All in all, that's not an excuse for me to be late about sharing you guys how I study drawing though. So I try my best, and I will inform you my schedule on my next update for study with me series, because I think it's going to be very important. Okay, so the painting is almost finished. I think it's pretty much finished. Like, just a little bit here and there, maybe, that I need to fix. A little bit more of highlight, and yeah, a bit more about the lighting, and that's it. At this point, yeah, it's kind of finished, as I remembered. I'm very satisfied with the result of this work, even though there are many things that I need to learn way more. The render, because it's still pretty flat, even though I did add in shadow, but that shadow itself is still not good enough. I need to learn how to render the texture much better than this to bring it to life more, and at least, like, kind of bring out a sense, a presence to this painting, this drawing. Right now it still looks so much like, sketching. It's not exactly finished, but yeah, I learned a lot through this, and the composition is good. The idea is pretty nice, pretty awesome to me, and the vibe is pretty cynical as much as I wanted, because as you see, I plan it to be very bright, and at the same time the idea behind it is kind of moody, it's kind of dark, and it's supposed to be comedic in a sense as well, even though I don't think it is very funny in here, but at the same time it's suitable with the thing that I want to go for technically. So I really enjoy it so far, the whole process. I work on it for around 2 hours, and I think I really love it. I think I start to have a better idea of what I want to do, what I want to work on. And as I said, I want to sell this poster on Etsy just as much as create a series for them, so that you know more about the universe that I want to create without spoiling too much. And that's my main goal for it. About the store on Etsy, I will share with you more in the future. To be honest, to be very, very honest, I need to sell, and at the same time, I need to sell print, and at the same time I need to support myself financially. And this is a problem with, you know every artist. In the end of the day, we have to survive, and we need to make ends meet. So there's no other choice as well. Sometimes, as I see many people saying that it's a hobby to them, about drawing and designing, instead of being their career. But with me, it is a career that I want to follow till the very end. I work for it. I just live with it every single day, and I've been through a lot of up and down, adapting to the fact that it is going to be my job. Yes, it took time to adapt to this kind of thing as well, because as you will feel many certain kind of state that is not so nice about the thing that you do, because when you turn your hobby, when you turn something that you love into something that is your job, and something that you use as a mean to earn money, it's very difficult. It's very terrible at times. But when you start to see and understand and know how to distinguish between the job and the hobby, the time that you spend for your personal projects, just as much as the time you spend on project that you work for your customer, things like that, to adapt to the new kind of way of being, it turns into your career, and it turns into something that you can live with every single day. And with me, it is like that. I need to draw to live, and it's not just because of the money. Literally, I need to create, I need to design, I need to do something creative every single day in order to feel alive. And because of that, I've decided I want to make it a career, because other than it, I'm not really good with doing anything else. I can do other things, but my mind just can't focus really well on other things. And because of many other things that I've been through as well, I realized that this is the thing that I want to go for. And believe me, I respect everyone's choices, whether they want to sell or want to not sell, want it to be their career or not. It all depends on each person. And with me, I just want to explain that this is it. And I want to give my artworks a chance as well. I guess why I'm going about talking about this thing and explaining myself here is because I myself at times not certain of what I'm doing as well. To be honest, I'm not really sure if selling my art like right now and like even like marketing it with you guys, because the thing I'm doing right now is definitely marketing, or like to marketing to you guys about my works, is something that is acceptable or something that is good. But I think it is something that is not wrong either, you know, like this is what I do for a living just as much as I do for my own enjoyment. For now, this channel is definitely more for enjoyment than anything, because I don't earn anything from this thing. I just simply enjoy sharing my stuff. But who knows, right? And everything has a limit, as I believe. As even though I do want to sell my works and I want to live as an artist, by no means I want to indulge in money and things like that. And it's pretty early to tell still, because I'm still a pretty broke ass artist, and that's what I need to tell you right now. Pretty broke ass as well. So but yeah, that's why one of the reasons why I want to give my work a chance and try selling on Etsy as well. So if you like my works, you can check the link down below. And believe me, I don't force you, nor I don't care if you don't care, really, because it's all about the choice, remember? So yeah, I don't know why I even talk about this thing right now in this such a way, because whatever you do and however you want to explain yourself, it's still selling. It's still about selling. It's still about marketing and things like that. And maybe it sounds really unconfident of me now, because I think I'm inconfident about things that I do most of the time. And again, this comes back to the matter that I have mental health issue as well. Is that I'm just not comfortable with doing certain things. But at the same time, when I think about it clearly, it's not exactly wrong either. And that's the funny part. But anyway, yeah, there's this things that I do. There's this thing that I sell. You can check it out. You can abandon it if you don't want to. And no matter what, I really appreciate your support so far. And at some point, I will no longer say this kind of thing, but for now, if you like my content, if you like my channel, if you like what I have done and I've shared so far, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I know it sounds really boring, just repeating it again and again, but truly I need it. I'm not sure, but I will think of a different way to talk about this matter. But yeah, and maybe in my next video I will no longer say it or things like that, because I think like at this times, you know, this time nowadays, and most people will know what YouTube is and what can you do with YouTube and stuff like that. I don't need to say a thing, right? And it's just become redundant. So yeah, but what I will not stop saying is that I really appreciate that you have been here, listen to my rant and listen to what I have to share, and look at my art, checking out things I do, and really, you know, even subscribe or like and stuff like that. And just, yes, I appreciate it for real. And I don't know what else or how else I can express it, but I definitely going to give you more creative content in the future, sharing with you things that I do, things that I really things that is like interesting and important that I want to spread around, want to share as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and this is the end of the video. And I really hope that you enjoy the whole process just as much as the things that I say. I will see you in the next video. Bye.